1 o'clock here on this Tuesday. Lance from Conrad and Molly. Pat back tomorrow. To claim or not to claim, that is the question. A lot of you answering that on the Jocks text line. Today, Auburn Athletics Director John Cohen in a statement putting out that Auburn is officially going to recognize 7 more national championships in total. If you're adding it up, that would give them 9 in addition to the already recognized 1957 and the 2010 titles. Other titles from the 19 teens and also 58, 1993, the probation year where Auburn went 11-0 under Terry Bowden, and 2004 where Auburn went 13-0 but did not get that matchup with USC, your eventual national champion that they so desperately desired. We all would have loved to have seen, Conrad.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. And I agree with everything that you said earlier, right, about you would argue with a brick wall that 2004 team deserved an opportunity to play in that game. And not only did they deserve an opportunity, but you think that they would have had a really, really good chance of winning that football game.
In my mind, nobody was beating that team that year.
Yeah, and nobody, and like we've talked about, no one can take that feeling away from you and what your memories are of watching that football team. And if you want to go and debate with the wall that they should have, or they should claim the national championship that year, then you can absolutely do that. But
yeah, and I don't debate with walls.
No, but there's a lot of people that do.
There are people that will.
A lot of people that do.
But that's something that, we'll get into it with Demetri Ravanos, who is a very talented individual, knows this state quite well. He's a University of Alabama graduate, which is perfect timing, Demetri. He's also the host of the college football Bubble Bath and SEC Unfiltered. He joins us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Are you up in arms right now that Auburn is claiming these national titles?
I am not up in arms about them claiming national titles. I believe college football is at its best when people are doing incredibly stupid things. And if UCF can claim 2017, why can't Auburn just make national titles up out of thin air? I am up in arms about your insistence that nobody was going to beat that 2004 Auburn team. That is absolutely rewriting history on that 2004 USC team.
In my mind, nobody was going to do it. Sorry,
in
Demetri.
my mind, Auburn doesn't even touch the ball in that game.
See? There you go.
Yeah, I think that 2004 USC team, they're not 01 Miami. They're not 19 LSU or 20 Alabama, but that was, in terms of college football, man, that was some elite talent gathered together.
So with you being an Alabama graduate, Demetri, I'm just curious, when you tell people Alabama has won blank number of national championships, what number do you claim for Alabama?
Oh, I claim 18 because they did the revision before I even got to school there. So who am I to argue?
Okay, there you go. So then by that metric, then we have to give Auburn the 9, right?
Yeah, who are we to argue all of these other ones, right?
Yeah. No. I'm with you. I'm saying Auburn should absolutely claim them. I think they get to claim 04 because they never played that game. I will point out that my favorite thing about them claiming 04 isn't the poll that they are citing that they are national champions from Golf Digest, who have only ever put out one poll because Tommy Tuberville asked them to.
See, I brought that up, and I never really took that poll with a grain of salt, but Pat said that was tongue-in-cheek. That was done tongue-in-cheek by Golf Digest at Tommy Tuberville's insistence. But we had a member of the team who used to be my neighbor who texted me and said that the rings that they got that season after the perfect 2004 season said national champions. So
and it should. Like, it's very hard to go undefeated. I know we always say this about the SEC, but in any conference, it's hard to go through undefeated. I'm all for them claiming they are national champions. I just think if that were really done tongue-in-cheek, that cover of Golf Digest would not still be hanging in Tommy Tuberville's office in Washington.
That's
maybe I should say if Tommy Tuberville were in on the tongue-in-cheek joke, it would not be hanging in Washington in his office.
Yes. So let me ask you this, Demetri. So with Auburn making this announcement earlier this morning, this is a question that we've kind of bounced back and forth here. Do you think that we are now going to see a number of other programs take the same route of, hey, let's have somebody in our sports information department go do a little legwork. Let's go back through the history books and see if we can't find whether it's 1, 2, 3, 7, like Auburn announced this morning. Do you think we're going to see other universities and other football programs take the same route?
Well, you have had other schools do it in the past, right? Like even on the outside of Kyle Field, doesn't A&M claim a Big 12 championship where they just got to the game in 98, right? Like, I think they claim a division championship as a conference championship. This has been going on for a long time, I think, because you literally quadruple the number of championships you claim. Auburn's really sticks out. But I think, programs that are of a certain mindset where history to a big chunk of the fan base matters more than what is going on right now, I would bet that group of programs has already done this.
The splitting of hairs, though, prior to the BCS, and people still argue the BCS era, and it was not perfect. And by the way, the college football playoff, it's not a perfect system apparently either. But prior to that, you had the AP and the UPI, and those votes coming in. But wasn't that precisely the reason why we went to the computer system, the computer models, is how we decided champions? And there were so many discrepancies with past championships that schools were trying to claim back to the 1900s and even before then?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you'll recall, I believe they announced that the BCS was coming at the conclusion of the 95 season, that it was going to start with the 98 season. And then what happened in 97? The last possible time we could get a split national championship, we did. Right? I mean, like, the split national championships were always fun, but it always added to the idea that nothing was really settled. I remember watching that Colorado Notre Dame Orange Bowl back in, I guess it was New Year's Day of 91. And even after Colorado won, it didn't really feel like things were done because you knew Georgia Tech was going to be a part of that conversation. I think it was Colorado in the AP and Georgia Tech in the UPI, if I remember correctly. But it was one of those things where when those things happen, it was so rare because of the various bowl affiliations. It was so rare that you got something like when Alabama and Miami played in the 93 Sugar Bowl, where it was 1 versus 2, because it was, divided. It divided the two most powerful conferences in the sport in a way that guaranteed their champions were never going to face off in the postseason. So, yeah, I mean, like, we had all of these weird rules in place that made the split national championship possible. And at some point, the nostalgia starts to get in the way of the money. And that's why we got the BCS, and then eventually why we got the 4-team and now the 12-team playoff.
So speaking of the 12-team playoff, I did want to get your thoughts on something that was making the rounds over the weekend, and that was the Big Ten saying that they, I guess, had initial conversations about a potential 24 or 28-team playoff in the future for college football. Do you think that's a good idea, Demetri, or do you think that's a horrible, disgusting idea from the Big Ten?
I mean, I think it's a terrible idea, right? Even when the SEC was on board with the idea of automatic slots into the playoff, like, even that was a terrible idea. I mean, if people
you don't want 7 automatic qualifiers for the SEC and Big Ten? Come on, Demetri. We got to get Iowa in.
For all of the hand-wringing about, a 3-loss SEC team is going to get in over an undefeated or 1-loss Big 12 or ACC team. Well, last year we saw that's not always going to be true. You know how that is true? When we guarantee team number 4 or 5 from one of the Power 2 conferences in. Like, I guarantee you, we adopt that model, and within 3 or 4 years, we have a 7-5 Purdue in the college football playoff, guaranteed. No, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think Tony Petitti and the Big Ten are out on an island right now. As much as we talk about the SEC as the power on the field, the Big Ten is the power in terms of where the money is. So they're going to get this further than they should. But at the end of the day, college football is not a union, right? College football is a confederacy, lowercase c confederacy, where everybody is out for themselves until it works in their favor to work together. And when it doesn't work in their favor to work together, everyone's going to try and screw each other, right? So I think that there is a vested interest with the other 3 Power 4 conferences to make sure, even if the Big Ten lays out how this is the smarter way to go, there's a vested interest in making sure that the Big Ten absolutely does not get its way.
Speaking of getting screwed with votes and recognition and awards, it's been happening in Hollywood forever. And you're a big movie guy, right?
Yeah.
I thought that we would look at some of the Academy Award winners from over the years. I'll start with 1977. and I'm going to claim this one for this particular movie. The winner of the Academy Award was Annie Hall. I think that was a Woody Allen movie.
It was, yes.
Never saw it. But you know the one I did see? Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I enjoy Annie Hall, but I'm just telling you, I'm calling it completely 100% as it is, as honest as I can be, Landrum. I enjoy Annie Hall. I think it's a great movie. My left arm is not covered in Annie Hall tattoos. That's all I'll say.
I would believe that.
Yep. Another great example, 1982, winner, Gandhi. Okay, good movie. But E.T.
Oh, was that? I always forget that E.T. didn't actually win it that year. Yeah, E.T. The Academy hates a children's movie, and even though I guess you would not technically call E.T. a children's movie, it's got that reputation to it. Yeah, that's definitely a getting screwed sort of thing, sort of scenario.
There were some years like I don't have a problem driving Miss Daisy in 1989. That was the winner. 1989, by the way, Christmas Vacation came out that year. There's so many good movies that came out in '89. But Born on the 4th of July was voted as the runner-up. But I got a problem with 1990. Your winner was Dances with Wolves.
Right.
Goodfellas,
yeah. And do you have in front of you what else was nominated that year?
Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, okay, if you don't have it, no worries. Goodfellas is all the argument you need. I seem to recall there is another, like, Can You Believe Blank never won an Academy Award that came out in 90, but I can't place.
Oh, is that Dead Poets Society?
Maybe. That wouldn't have been the one I was thinking of, but that sounds right in terms of timing.
1990. Oh goodness. It just redirected me, but there were a ton of different movies that were, notable movies.
I was about to say, I think Field of Dreams was nominated that year as well.
You had Dead Poets Society, Field of Dreams, My Left Foot, Born on the 4th of July, and the winner was Driving Miss Daisy.
What, in 90 it was Driving Miss Daisy? So was it 91 then was Dances with Wolves?
Dances with Wolves was listed. Where did I have that? That was actually listed as 1990 as well. So
90. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. Where are you at on 99? Shakespeare in Love over Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, that's the biggest snub of all time. That's my favorite movie of all time is Saving Private Ryan, but the fact that it didn't win Best Picture is
really
bad, in my opinion.
I know that it's the one that everyone is up in arms about. I am of the belief that after the invasion of Normandy, Saving Private Ryan gets really boring. I have always said that 2 years later, when Gladiator wins, Gladiator is a very entertaining movie. You will never convince me it's a better movie than Traffic. Traffic is an excellent movie.
Traffic was a great movie. Trying to find any others that might resonate with you.
You're not mad that Citizen Kane didn't win Best Picture in 1941, Landrum? Come on.
It keeps me up at night.
I know that's the one that's really everyone's screaming at their radios right now. Why are we not talking about Citizen Kane?
The point being, people have been getting snubbed for a long time.
Sure, and it's time we rewrite some history.
You've got something to write. You got your college football bubble bath that's going to be coming out. Do you want to give us a sneak peek of what we could be getting?
The best sort of tip of the cap I can give you is I think it will probably be about what it is we are talking about with the claimed national titles. I, by the way, was on board that 2 years ago, even though they missed out on the playoff, Florida State should have claimed a title. Because who cares? Do whatever you want in this sport. It's Landrum. I'm going to tell you what I've told many of my teachers. In my head, this is great, but I have not actually done any of the work yet for college football bubble bath this week.
Knowing that Michigan had a sign stealer, and they still won a national title.
Well, they took USC's away in 2004, but Michigan gets to keep theirs from 2 years ago.
Yeah, here's the argument that I would make going forward if I ever feel like my team got screwed out of a title, a playoff appearance, whatever the case may be. Last week, the NCAA made it very clear they are not doing their job anymore. So why should we go by what their record says the champion was?
And why would they do their job anymore? Because every time they try to do their job, I am going to stick up for them a little bit. They get taken to court.
Yeah,
they
get
spend
sued.
millions of dollars on attorneys that continually get beat down in these courtrooms. Why fight it? Just
yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair, right? Like I have a friend that was at school at Louisville when they won the national championship, and he says all the time they took the banner down. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
no, it doesn't.
No, you still have the memories.
Yep.
Yep, exactly.
Dimitri, we love that you're going to be joining us throughout the college football season here on Tuesdays at this time, and the college football bubble bath, SEC Unfiltered, for folks who have not seen it. Just give them a quick trailer on what they can expect week to week.
Yeah, just me in a bathtub talking about college football. Sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's real ball talk, but it is always half nude. I can promise you that much.
Yes, it is, and we can promise you as well. We have to do prep for this segment.
That was a great promo. I'm sold.
Yep. And you have to feature the tattoos on the left arm in this next one.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure they really get in camera. I've got Chewbacca on the forearm, and I've got 2 lightsabers on my shoulder.
All right. And maybe save your opinion of after the storming of the beach on Saving Private Ryan. Maybe just keep that one in there.
Listen, I'm right. You'll all wake up to it eventually. I'm not saying Shakespeare in Love is excellent. I'm just saying Saving Private Ryan is fine. Let's not overinflate it.
Dimitri, thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, boys.
Demetri Ravanos, college football bubble bath on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham's your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Yeah, you'll never convince me that Saving Private Ryan isn't one of the greatest movies of all time. Well deserving of the Best Picture in 1998, but to each their own.
I've never seen it.
Oh, Molly.
There's also a lot of movies I haven't seen.
You never have to watch that in history class?
I don't think so.
I feel like Spielberg just got screwed a lot.
You want to talk about somebody that could claim some national championships?
And I know that there's a theory out there on why.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't convince me on the Saving Private Ryan one. But there's a lot of those people we've gotten some over the text line of people sending their thoughts in on ones that got snubbed. The Grammys, I brought that up. You really want to get into it. Let's go look at the Grammys. I know maybe music's a little more opinion based, but there's a lot of snubs in history, but we'd love to hear from you. More of your thoughts on Auburn claiming 7 national championships. You can also chime in on the conversation. Best pictures, Grammy nominations, other snubs throughout history that we're overlooking. We'd love to hear from you. 205-834-9450. That'll get you on the courtesy GMC text line, and that is where we will head next on the Tuesday edition of 3-Man Front.
1977, the missing Oscar. Star Wars finishing second according to the voters that year behind Annie Hall. Auburn, meanwhile, football, claiming an additional 7 national championships as of this morning. So if you're just tuning in, you've been busy, Auburn fans, congratulations. You have some celebrating to do.
And what a better way to do it than on a Tuesday?
On a Tuesday.
On a Taco Tuesday. You could
We
celebrate
call it
7.
a Title Tuesday.
That's right, Title Tuesday. We might have to, can Tuscaloosa still be Title Town? Or
A
we have to
Trophy
change that now?
Tuesday. You can still be
Trophy
Title
Tuesday.
Town.
Okay.
Do you recognize it as Title Town?
I do.
What do you recognize as the real Death Valley? Do you think when Clemson fans say the real Death Valley, you think some LSU fans get fighting mad? I bet they do.
Absolutely.
And vice versa.
We've seen that this offseason already.
Right? You will hear from potentially the future governor of the state of Alabama. When Tommy Tuberville going out of his way today to recognize that national title team from 2004.
Hello, Coach Tommy Tuberville here to celebrate the great news that we've been waiting for 21 years. I want to congratulate the 2004 Auburn Tigers football team on being recognized as the true national champions of college football of 2004. There is no doubt that the 2004 Auburn team was the best team in the country for the entire season. We went undefeated and had 4 wins over top 10 teams. Not only were our players great athletes, but they were great young men. They were unselfish, and they played for each other. Some players had opportunities to go to the NFL draft after the 2003 season, but returned for their senior year because they loved our team and they loved Auburn. And that's why we were so successful. I'm standing here in front of a painting that has some of our most iconic memories from that season. Now, this team is finally getting the recognition they deserve. So, War Eagle, and congratulations to all the players, coaches, parents, and our great fans who made this possible.
There you go. You're an Auburn fan, maybe a fist pump in the car. If you hated this, Alabama fan, you hated that even more.
It's cool to see Coach Tuberville take Senator Tuberville take some time out of his day to congratulate his wonderful 2004 squad that, they were a very talented team. You ended up having 4 of those guys were first-round picks in the NFL draft the following year, and as we've discussed, and some people have been debating this on the text line, I'm serious when I say I agree with Landrum that they should have had an opportunity to play for a national championship. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say without a shadow of a doubt that they would have beaten that USC team because that was a special team as well, but they certainly deserved an opportunity to settle that on the field, and they are now recognizing that as a national championship for the Auburn Tigers.
You want to go celebrate a great day at work, maybe a national title or 7 for your favorite college football team? You can do it there at the Finnick beginning tomorrow. And tomorrow, Wednesday through Friday, that means there's going to be live acoustic music on Friday night starting at 10. You got live entertainment and with a band. But also the Finnick, they do a wonderful job of showcasing sports along with a great menu like wings, wood-fired burgers, steaks, fresh salads, seafoods, and, of course, cocktails. Multiple large screens throughout, so you can watch a variety of the SEC, NFL this fall, and other sports. You've got the 2 massive LED video walls, 7 foot by 14. Oh, my goodness, 283-inch projector screens, pool tables, and a pool room if you're into that as well. Convenient private parking, great event space if you're looking for that. It's the Finnick. That's got to be your game day destination all season long. You can get in there beginning tomorrow, open Wednesday afternoon. You got acoustic music, then you've got the great menu, and you can watch some sports as well. We appreciate our friends at the Finnick, 1630 2nd Avenue South near Railroad Park.
Well, 205-834-9450, that's the number to get you on the courtesy GMC text line, as we have had a number of people chime in throughout the show this morning on a variety of topics, a lot of it involving Auburn and their national championships. But we will start with this text that just rolled in. We had an Auburn fan say, hey, I could cry right now, WDE, after listening to Senator Tuberville in his congratulatory video that he posted on social media just a few moments ago about the 2004 team. Let's see. We have another person, Cody checks, and he says, that's not my next governor.
Well, I'm claiming it.
Let's see. We have some people chiming in. Landrum brought up some movies that had been snubbed for the Best Picture award at the Academy Awards. Richard chimes in. He says, The English Patient isn't a terrible movie, but when it won the Academy Award for Best Picture and Director, that gave me a lot of trust issues. Is that the one they make fun of in Seinfeld? You know, there's a movie that everyone's obsessed with, and
is it The Notebook, or is it?
And Elaine's like the one person that doesn't like it, and everyone else thinks it's amazing. I think it's that one.
Okay,
I could be wrong. Alan chimes in. He says, "I hear that Conrad now claims he can change a tire."
Are you doing that?
No, I'm not, because I can't.
I'm not going to recognize it.
I cannot change a tire. You're not going to recognize it. Let's see. It says, so ironic that Auburn fans always say that Alabama fans live in the past. I've heard a few sentiments of that today, of maybe a jab that Auburn fans had at Alabama fans that maybe they don't have anymore. Let's see. Someone says La La Land should have claimed the Academy Award for Best Picture because it was announced during the show incorrectly. Also, Miss Columbia can claim the 2015 Miss Universe pageant after the infamous Steve Harvey incident. Yes, if you've never seen that video, definitely worth looking it up on YouTube. But yes, he did mispronounce the winner of Miss Universe in 2015. Let's see. Someone says, I know I live in the wrong state to say this, but I would say Pulp Fiction or Shawshank Redemption should have won Best Picture over Forrest Gump. That is probably a hot take for a lot of people in the state of Alabama. I would agree that Shawshank, I love Pulp Fiction too. I think Shawshank is one of the best movies ever made. I think Shawshank, you could make a strong argument, should have won Best Picture.
I still think of all the
year.
ones from Molly's Movie Minute, Shawshank is my ultimate favorite that I had to watch.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
An absolutely fantastic movie. This text comes in and says, I don't know why Auburn fans are excited about this. All they care about is the Iron Bowl. When's the last time anyone saw a highlight or a clip of Auburn beating Oregon in 2010 for the national title? The team won a natty 15 years ago, but you never hear about it or see it. Even from Auburn's side, they would much rather bring up the kick six again.
Now you're going to hear and see it with Auburn's nice national titles dating all the way back to 1910. I can't wait for that highlight video.
Let's see. Someone says, I want to be the first to congratulate the 2017 Dodgers on being named World Series champions, since that was the year of the Astros cheating scandal. That's fair. And we can say that they beat the New York Yankees in the World Series because
and you can also say that they won a world title when you had a 60-game schedule.
Yes, in the COVID year, just like the Lakers, if you want to put an asterisk next to some of those championships. This one says, Alabama has 15 championships, period. And thinking recruits these days will be wild because someone penciled in a higher number in a column that changes nothing for said recruit is hilarious. They also say Bama should claim the 2023 title due to Michigan cheating that year.
But it can't hurt, can it? You don't know. That's what I said. It's kind of laughable. I think money pretty much talks these days, but it can't hurt. Adding some window dressing, right?
Well, and as I brought up, right, we can make fun of it now and we can have fun with this now, but 20 years down the line, people aren't going to be thinking, oh, this is the championships that Auburn claimed in 2025. It's just going to be, oh, Auburn claims 9 national championships. That's impressive. And some of you will remember and have problems with that, but it is what it is. Paul from Boaz chimes in. He says, when and where are the national championship shirts and hats going to be available? And we talked about that. If you're Auburn, this is a big
Congratulations,
opportunity.
Nike.
Yeah, print them out. Sell them right now. They should be in stores today. You'd make a killing.
The phone lines are all lit up. We're going to get to your phone calls. Conrad will get to more of your texts. Also, Conrad has seen something bad that he's really excited about, the worst thing I've seen. All of that as we roll on here on this Tuesday. It's still Tuesday, right? 3-man front on Jocks. 135, 3-man front. Let us keep on with the discussion. Everybody with an opinion on Auburn's claiming of 7 additional national titles in football this morning. John Cohen, Auburn's athletics director, with a statement. We will get right to your phone calls. Let's go to Brad. Brad, how are you?
I'm good.
Hey, you played at Auburn in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
You were a part of that. Were you part of the 2014?
That was my last year at Auburn.
Yeah. Okay. Would you guys have beaten USC in a title game?
I think so, but either way, I mean, the 2004 one, is one of those that, it changed football and where we are today. People, if you just start naming out years, people don't remember the national championship for every year, but a lot of people remember 2004 and go, oh, that's the year Auburn got hosed, and it started developing where we got to college football playoffs. They have their own recognition by themselves. Off of anything else, but. My main question when you finally got the news was, what took so long? It should have been something they did in 2005, 2006, after 2004. To Conrad's point earlier, you've got if it had already been done, this wouldn't be a big deal today. It should have been we should have been at 8 before 2010 and been going for 10 in 2013. And nobody would even care right now.
Brad, how much of that would have been then athletics director Jay Jacobs, I think at the time, saying we don't want to look like Alabama?
Well, the biggest thing, that's I was just about to say. This is all about Cohen actually having the gumption to get it done. And look at all what's going on this year for Auburn. You've gone to Nike. You're having stadium renovations. You're retiring Cam's number. You're bringing Bo back for 40 years. Now Bo is, quote-unquote, a national champion when he comes back for the 85. Not from the 85 year, but from being on the team of 83. So, you got that coming in the Iron Bowl this year. Just with the total change of you've heard this over the past year a ton about going ahead and giving people their flowers Now, those early 1900s teams aren't going to get them, but I mean, you've got some folks like teams and families that should be recognized for winning national championships over the years. And 83 is probably the one that was the biggest snub. If you go back and look at the polls before the bowl games and after the bowl games and what all occurred in those, 83 was probably the most you could make the best argument for. But again, I mean, I just don't see, like, if you woke up this morning and it changed your mood, good or bad, you've got other problems. But John Cohen's a genius, because that's what we're a week and a half away from Auburn starting and Alabama starting. We've got college football this week, and this is what's consumed probably 90% of this show today. So it's genius to me. I mean, but again, what took so long? But I mean, it's just one of those things that I love, that it's ticking a bunch of other fan bases off. For anybody from Auburn saying it's embarrassing, like you are literally a little brother if you think this is embarrassing. I mean, you're going the other way with the stereotype of Auburn being a little brother if you're embarrassed by this. Like, who cares? Put them up on the signs. Like,
you know what's embarrassing is I've got a live webcam, Brad, right now at Toomer's Corner, and nobody has rolled a tree.
But that just goes to show you. I mean, but that's the whole point. Like, it's just something that should have been done 15 years ago, and we're not even talking about it. I mean, that to Conrad's point in the last segment. You know, it's one of those, if we'd already done it, in 20 years from now, nobody's going to say anything. Well, if Auburn wins another one in the next 20 years, or in the next 5, 6, 7 years, we're going to say we had 10. Who cares? I mean, move on. But it's just one of those things that I think I appreciate Cohen. It'll cement his legacy as the AD at Auburn, because it should have been done before he ever got there. And also this year, not saying this has any tie to it, but, you know, Cohen's a baseball guy. What happened this year in baseball that got reversed after somebody passed away? You got Pete Rose, a whole time not going to be in the Hall of Fame, now eligible for the Hall of Fame after he dies. You know, you've got some things like that you ought to be giving recognition to people while they're around, and going back and making sure that their legacies are cemented in the history books. And so I don't understand why any of that's a problem.
Brad, here's the question. This is going to send somebody over the edge. Now with these additional national championships for Auburn, does this officially make them a blue blood?
Auburn's always been a blue blood. I mean, just look at the history of what happened in the early 1900s, who coached there, how many programs, you know, has spun off of it. I mean, did you run into the Alabama different eras? Yes, but, you know, Alabama also should be thanking Auburn for getting Nick Saban, because you wouldn't have had him if it wasn't for Auburn. So, you know, there's all kinds of different things that go into it. But as far as the history of the program, and when you look at what they've done compared to others, you know, that had little runs, you look at different decades of undefeated seasons. Auburn's been there the whole time. It's not deniable. And
Brad,
so anybody that tries to is burying their head in the sand.
Love you, buddy. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank y'all.
You just had to say that.
I did.
You just had to say it.
Let's go to Dave. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, I hate to rain on this parade. And, oh, by the way, have Auburn go ahead and start printing up those rings for them. Go ahead and get those ordered. Let's see, rings for 85 people for the 8 they're adding up there. It's going to cost them about $18 million, but go ahead and get them done.
2004 already has the rings.
What's that?
2004 team already has the rings. I don't know. I know 93 has rings. I don't know if they say national champions.
Right. Well, first of all, I don't consider Auburn as a blue blood. They've only won 10 games twice in the last 20 years. One of them was the undefeated 2013 season, I guess it was. I don't know, man. I look at it like a team gets beat 45-0 on the field for the national championship, and then 2 weeks later they came out that the other team cheated, and then the team that won by default because of the forfeit has a parade down Main Street. They get their rings. They're having a big party. You just got your teeth kicked in on the field. As an athlete, somebody played ball in college, if I don't actually win it outright on the field, I don't want anything to do with it. And I think Tommy Tuberville just hit the nail on the head when he said players came back. It just proves it was NIL back in 2004, 2003. Because apparently it paid more to come back to school than it did to go to the NFL. I'm just kidding about that, but I don't know, man. I think it's a dark day when schools start throwing. Look, Auburn's not the only team that got snubbed for a national championship. It happened to Georgia years ago.
Is Georgia a blue blood?
They didn't get. What's that?
Is Georgia a blue blood?
Well, they've won more than 10 games twice in the last 20 years. I can tell you that.
Well,
that's not for me.
Not what I asked.
Yeah, my opinion, yes.
Okay.
But take a look at how many times they finished in the top 5 in the last 25 years. Now, Kansas State, if you remember, beat Oklahoma by 40 points in the Big 12 championship game.
Did.
Georgia got to play Hawaii instead of playing for the national championship game. Georgia ends up number 2 that year. They beat Hawaii like 51-7 in the Sugar Bowl. But if you can't win your own conference championship game, Oklahoma, you got beat by Kansas State by 5 touchdowns. Why are you playing for the national championship? But they did. So a lot of people have gotten snubbed. Notre Dame took national championships back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s away from a lot of teams because people like Vito Cook and the other sports writers wrote them in.
Good stuff. Thank you, Dave. Let's go to John. Looks safe. Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing today?
Doing well.
I was just calling to comment on, love you guys' show, but just calling to comment on the 2004 Auburn team. I mean, they didn't really deserve the national title if you think about it. 2 years before that, they lost to USC twice at USC, and then in 2003 they got beat 23-0 at home to the same basically USC team they would have played again. Oklahoma, 2003, lost in the national title game to LSU. They split with USC, who won the Rose Bowl against Michigan. So 2004, if you're living in that time, everybody would 1-2 to start that season was USC, Oklahoma. They didn't lose a game, so why should have Auburn jumped them? I don't understand that.
Thank you, John. We appreciate the phone call. I am totally against, and I stand on the record, of comparing head-to-head results from previous seasons to.
Yes, no, I agree, because he is true in the sense that a lot of those USC players did come back for 2004. But no, I don't think you can say, well, because you lost to this team the year before, that guarantees you would have lost to them the next year. I don't agree with that.
That would be 5 teams on Auburn's schedule from the 2003 season, because I think they went 8-5 that season before they did the. Yeah. But, John, thank you for the phone call, and thank you for listening. Ryan.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing well. Hope you are.
I'm doing great. I am an Auburn grad, big Auburn fan, of course, and I'm happy with the decision today to add the 7 national championships. The 2004 is a little harder to claim, I will say, just because the BCS was the BCS, and that was how we crowned a national champion back in those days. But I just want to make sure, and I apologize if this has already been spoken today on the show, but it was back in 1983 that Alabama's sports information director wrote in and made official, like it was the word, 5 more national championships.
Yep.
Have y'all discussed that?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Good. And the guy called a couple minutes ago saying you're not a champion if you didn't win it on the field. There's a lot of those national championships for Alabama and other schools that they didn't win on the field that we're claiming today. So, as Brad said, 20 years from now, we won't talk about it. We're not rolling the trees. It's just a different era. I think Auburn deserves a lot of those, and I'm happy about it.
Hey, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it, Ryan.
Not only will 20 years from now we'll forget about this, I think we'll forget about this in 2 weeks when the teams are actually playing meaningful games this season, and the entire focus will be on what have you done for me now? Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of people, kind of view, this is the perspective I have at least, right? All this stuff is great. It's fun conversation. I care about what's going to happen with the team that I root for on the field this year. And I think for a lot of Auburn fans, they feel the same way. But this also just goes into the excitement that you have around the Auburn program for this upcoming season. And that's just going to feed into a conversation like this, which that's not a bad thing.
These texts are awesome.
They are.
I'm going to have to take like 7 different pictures to keep in my files for the ones that I can't read on the air, the ones that I like to revisit. Conrad sees good. He sees bad. Apparently he's seen something bad he wants to share. That's next on 3 Man Front. 153 Man Front, Landrum, Conrad, and Molly. We're seeing that Conrad is seen coming up momentarily. Always tell you about our friends at Prize Picks, especially with football season just about here. Prize Picks, it is the best place, the absolute best place to win cash while watching sports. You can join millions of users. Sign up today. It's really simple. You download the Prize Picks app, use code WJOX, get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. You don't even have to win. It's simple to play. Prize Picks, you just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in, win up to 2,000 times your money. So they put out these stat projections. We're going to go professional baseball tonight since football isn't quite here. I like to go with the Braves. Runs plus hits plus runs batted in. 0.5 for Ronald Acuna. All he has to do is get a hit or score a run or knock one in somehow, some way. Over 0.5, a winner. Jazz Chisholm for the Yankees. Your Yankees. 0.5, same category. All he's got to do is get a hit, score, run batted in. Anything else on top of that, it's gravy. You going more or less on Jazz Chisholm?
I'm going more tonight. Yankees are playing good baseball, so yeah, more. Let's go.
I'm going to go more tonight after the Braves fell to the woeful White Sox 13-9 last night. I will go more for Ronald Acuna. Both of those players hit more than their stat projections. We're a winner. You can be a winner too. Once again, download the Prize Picks app. Use code WJOX. Get the $50 in lineups after the first $5 play. Prize Picks, run your game. This is a little game that Conrad likes to play every now and then. He finds things that are interesting, sometimes educational, and sometimes just downright bone-chilling. This is the worst thing that Conrad's seen.
All right, for this Tuesday edition of The Worst Thing I've Seen, we're going to go to Toronto, Canada, as this is definitely one of the more interesting stories that I've seen in quite some time. So how about this for a headline? She thought she was going number 2, but it turned into kid number 3. So we're going to go to Toronto, Canada, as I said, where Helen and Michael Green were on a vacation together with their 6-year-old daughter. They were taking a 10-day road trip through Canada, and they had no idea that Helen, the mother and wife, was pregnant the entire time. So according to the story, they arrived and checked into a Holiday Inn hotel back in May. They were in bed by 11 p.m. getting a good night's rest when a couple of hours later, Helen woke up with stomach pains and ran to the bathroom feeling like she had to push something out. She says, quote, "I had no idea what was happening, but after 2 massive pushes, there was a baby. So I picked her up out of the toilet and held her in my arms." Yes, that is correct. This woman did not realize she was pregnant and then ran to the bathroom in the middle of the night and gave birth while on vacation in a hotel bathroom toilet.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So you can obviously imagine the surprise, and they even have a lovely picture. They have a picture of the toilet in the hotel room. I'm glad somebody went back to the scene of the birth.
Was
to
it a
capture
nice
that.
hotel at least?
Looks pretty. I mean, it's a Holiday Inn. I mean, it looks like, you know.
Okay. What kind of shower?
Solid.
Was it a walk-in shower like one of the
No, it's a
new
tub.
updated
It's a
ones
tub shower
with the little rain fixture? Or?
No, it's just your general old bathtub shower. But her husband, Michael, then immediately called first responders, and paramedics arrived within 10 minutes to take them to a local hospital. The husband said, quote, "I was in such a daze we could hardly figure out what was going on. We didn't know if the baby was okay or whether it was full term. We didn't even check to see if it was a boy or a girl. A paramedic had to tell us." So according to medical experts, this was what they call a cryptic pregnancy, where essentially your body continues to do the things that it naturally does if you're a woman, even though you're pregnant, which would lead to the understanding that you were not pregnant. So
do you get cravings though? It's like, why do I all of a sudden like pickles and ice cream, right?
According to the wife, she said she had no symptoms during the pregnancy. So she just assumed that she was premenopausal and had no idea that she was actually pregnant. So the good news is the baby was safe and healthy. Everything was all good. They were able to leave with the child after that. And it is a story where they can, it'll be an interesting story to tell that child one day. But hey, baby's healthy. Mama's healthy. We're all good.
So many follow-up questions. Thank goodness we're out of time. I'm going to stay in my lane. Hey, go out there and claim a title today if you so choose, or take one away. We appreciate you joining us. God is great. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.